Slide into some Major League Baseball action. And we are going to start off with Washington taking on the Mets. 1:10 Eastern first pitch in Flushing, Queens. The Mets open the betting as the $1.35 favorite, total at 7 flat. And since those markets opened this one up, we're actually seeing a nickel fade of the Mets when it comes to the money line. And we're seeing movement downward on the total, down to 6.5 runs. Once again, the Mets open 135, down to -130. Total open 7, down to 6.5. 63% of the consensus is leaning toward New York. 59% shaded toward the over. Right now, Washington's plus 110 on the money line. We have Strasburg for Washington, Noah Syndergaard for the Mets. Now, Washington is allowing a bunch of runs so far in this short early season. They're allowing 6.8 runs per contest and 11.2 hits per game. Meanwhile, the Mets on their side, they're 5th in runs scored and 4th in hits on average. When it comes to the total, New York's 5-1 to the over overall for the year. Washington 4-1 to the over on their side of things as well. Give me the Mets -130 in the over. 6.5 runs in that matchup there. Next game, Mets, Orioles, 305 Camden Yards. Yankees. Did I say Mets? Yankees, Orioles, 305 Camden Yards. The Yankees opened the betting as the $1.90 favorite, total at 8.5. And since those markets opened this one up, we're seeing a 10-cent move toward New York. We're also seeing a movement downward on the total, down to 8 flat. So once again, the Yankees open 190 up to -200. Total open 8.5 down to 8 flat. 59% are leaning Yankees, 64% shaded toward the over. Right now, Baltimore's plus 175 for an outright win. We have Paxton for New York, Cobb for Baltimore. New York struggled with Baltimore in that opener a little bit. This is a perfect spot for them, I think, despite being on the road. I like the Yankees -1.5, but I think they're going to keep it under. So kind of a tough spot, tough play. Probably going to be an unpopular play, but I like the Yankees -1.5 in the under 8 runs in that matchup there. Next game, Red Sox, A's, 337 Oakland. Boston's -115, total open 9 down to 8.5. 56% are leaning Boston, 64% shaded toward the over. Right now, Oakland's -105 on the money line. We have Rodriguez slated on the bump for Boston. Anderson slated on the bump for Oakland. Boston took care of business last night. I think there's pretty good value in Oakland getting a good price at home, though. So I don't know if they're going to get blown out 2 nights in a row. Not that they were blown out last night. But give me Oakland, -105, and the under 8.5 runs in that matchup there. Next game, Chicago taking on the Atlanta Braves, 7:20 Eastern first pitch in Atlanta. The Braves open 110 up to -115, totals 8.5. 53% are leaning Cubbies, 54% shaded toward the under. Right now, Chicago's -105 on the money line. We have Yu Darvish for the Cubs. Max Fried for Atlanta. Yu Darvish got banged up a little bit in his first start. Give me Atlanta -115 in the under 8.5 runs in that matchup there. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Rangers, Angels, 10:07 in Los Angeles. The Angels opened 160 down to -150. Totals 8.5. 54% are leaning Los Angeles, 68% shaded toward the over. Right now, Texas is $1.25 on the money line, plus 125 on the money line. We have Volquez projected on the bump for Texas. Matt Harvey slated to take the mound for the Angels. I think this is a pretty good spot here for Texas backers. I'm going to lean Texas Rangers +1.5, getting the job done on the run line in the over. 8.5 runs in that matchup there. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. It is Thursday. The weekend is almost here. We almost made it. Thank God for weekends, man. Weekends are great because, as I always say, work sucks. Boo. But anyway, before we sign off here, just want to quickly remind you, as always, just as a courtesy, to check me out on my website. That's patreon.com/BrockPage. We have plenty of picks, plenty of memberships and different tiers and packages, but most importantly, there's plenty of free content there as well. So please feel free to just finish this video, open up your browser, type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a couple of seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. But most importantly, thank you for watching today's program. I really hope you enjoyed all this free information and free content. And don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.